Good morning. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope I speak loud enough. The birds all of a sudden decided to start chirping. So beautiful to hear these birds. So my question to you is, do you think before you speak? How harsh are you with your words? Because words have power. Words have a lot of power. With the words, with our words, we can lift people up, or we can destroy people, whether we know it or not. I'm gonna hopefully do a video in a couple of days on bitterness, and I hope that you subscribe to my channel and you would join me in that video. So I want to speak about the power of words and how I seen so many people flippantly toss words around, use words that they have no idea what they're saying until it's too late. Later on, they wish they can take those words back. But as I teach my children, sometimes when you say something, you can't take it back. No matter how much you say, I'm sorry, or I didn't mean to say that, it was said. So we need to be very careful with our words. And this message here is as much for me as it is for you. Because I have a dear friend, very dear friend, who keeps warning me about my words. And I keep praying and asking the Lord to give me wisdom, understanding, and to help me and to teach me how to be how self-control and discipline. And I want to share a couple of scriptures with you guys in regards to what words can do and will do. So in Ecclesiastes chapter 5, I was going to read verse 1 through 7, but I'm just going to read two verses. And in verse 2, the word of God says, and this is Solomon, the wisest man that ever lived, he said, "Do not be rash with your mouth, and let not your heart utter anything hastily before God. For God is in heaven and you are on earth. Therefore, let your words be few." And a friend of mine said this to me yesterday. Let your words be few. And my friend has said it to me many times in the past couple of months, and sadly I don't heed those warnings as much as I should. But yeah, we should let our words be few, because sometimes in the heat of the moment we wind up saying things and just blurting out whatever comes to mind, or even if we don't mean it, and then it just becomes a heated battle. And we're not to be like that. And we read in the book of James, and I'm going to give you guys a warning at the end of this video. In the book of James, in chapter 3, verse 3, it says, I was going to read verse 3 to 10, but I'm going to read verse 6, and it says, "And the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity. The tongue is set among our members, that it defiles the whole body, and sets on fire the course of nature, and it is set on fire by hell." And in verse 8 it says, "But no man can tame the tongue. It is an unruly evil full of deadly poison. With it we bless our God and Father, and with it we curse men who are made in the similitude of God. Out of the same mouth proceed blessing and cursing. My brethren, these things ought not to be so." They ought not to be so. Out of the same mouth. How many times have you told somebody, "I love you," and then a couple of minutes later, a day later, or whenever, you wind up saying hateful things? You wind up saying things that go contrary to the love that you're proclaiming to them, or how much you care about them. And then in chapter 4, verse 11 of James, it says, "Do not speak evil of one another, brethren. He who speaks evil of a brother and judges his brother speaks evil of the law and judges the law." And then in chapter 5, verse 12, it says, "Do not swear either by heaven or by earth, with any other oath, but let your yes be yes and your no be no, lest you fall into judgment." Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Jesus himself says that. He said anything else other than that is from the devil. So if you say something, you are to do it. Okay, so don't say you're going to do something and don't do it. But also be careful what you say and how you say it, because we will be held accountable to that. And the final verse that I want to share with you guys in regards to that is in Matthew chapter 12, verse 36 and 37, where Jesus says, "But I say to you that for every idle word men may speak, they will give account of it in the day of judgment. For by your words you will be justified, and by your words you will be condemned." You will be condemned. basically you're condemning yourself if you're not careful with the words that you use. So, we are to practice and to speak in love, to speak in humility, to speak in kindness, to be patient with others, and to think, because James also tells us about, that we should think as much as we speak. We should hold our tongue, and we should hear more than what we say. And, as I said in the beginning, this is a lesson for me in this video. So my hope and my prayer is that if you find yourself rambling, you find yourself saying things that later on you regret, ask the Lord to lead you, to guide you, to give you understanding, and to give you wisdom, and to teach you how to be patient with others, and especially with Him, and especially with yourself. So, my hope and my prayer is that you would heed the warnings of the scriptures, and that you would be very careful with the words that you use. And I'm going to apply this to myself, and I'm going to do as my friend said. I'm going to attempt to let my words be few. God bless you, my friends.